Have you ever witnessed the raw exposure of personal tragedy and family chaos under the unforgiving light of justice? Welcome back to Judge Judy Movie Analysis 2025, where we don't simply watch cases, we dissect the psychology, motives, and concealed truths hidden behind every testimony and every action of the litigants. Today, we are diving into episode 10,000, Best Amazing Cases Season 2025, a compilation of astonishing disputes ranging from post-lottery financial fallout, domestic violence, clothing contract failures, pet attacks, to urban traffic incidents, all handled with Judge Judy's signature sharpness and extraordinary human insight. Prepare for a long, gripping journey where no detail is insignificant and every clumsy lie shatters under the pressure of truth. The episode opens with the dramatic case of McPherson v. Hall, exploring the dangerous overlap between romance and finances. Gerald McPherson, the plaintiff, sues his ex-girlfriend Natasha Hall to reclaim the money he gave her while they lived together, a case not just about dollars but about a man trying to rebuild his life after profound hardship. Judge Judy begins by establishing Gerald's background, a 40-year-old home healthcare worker who emphasizes his consistent employment and determination. Yet Judy probes deeper, uncovering his past homelessness in 2020. Gerald candidly explains the circumstances, describing his stay in a men's shelter while continuing to work for the Census Bureau, a revelation that adds credibility and sympathy to his character. His struggles intensify when he reveals that his 10-year-old daughter, whose mother had passed away, had to live with her grandmother through foster care because the shelter allowed only men. The emotional weight of this detail underscores Gerald's fight for stability and his eventual reclaiming of custody in June 2022, just before the relationship with Natasha collapsed. Their 2-year relationship reveals financial imbalances. Gerald paid half the rent for $125 of an $850 apartment despite Natasha living there with her 2 children. Judy immediately highlights the inequity. Gerald, essentially living with 3 dependents that weren't his responsibility, was shouldering far too much. Natasha's attempts to justify this unfair split fall flat under Judy's scrutiny. The conflict escalates when Gerald's gambling winnings enter the story. After winning $26,889 from sports bets, Gerald claims he gave Natasha $6,000 in cash. She insists it was transferred into accounts. Their contradictory statements about how the money was exchanged and what it was used for paint a picture of financial entanglement ripe for manipulation. Judge Judy presses Natasha relentlessly, seeking clarity on whether the money was a loan, a gift, or simply a miscalculated contribution. The case ends in tense ambiguity, hinting at a severe judgment ahead. The next dispute, Stevens v. Stevens, revolves around a violent dog attack. The plaintiff describes how the defendant's 2 dogs mauled her small pet, requiring expensive vet care and surgery. The defendant tries to claim he had his dogs under control, but Judy shuts down his excuses with unwavering resolve. Dog owners are absolutely responsible for their pets' behavior. A witness, Emily Farringer, corroborates the plaintiff's story, undermining the defendant's defense. After reviewing thousands of dollars in veterinary bills and eliminating any unrelated fees, Judy orders the defendant to compensate the plaintiff. The judgment serves as a stern reminder of the responsibility pet owners must bear. The episode then plunges into Carter v. Ashley, a heated dispute between 2 sisters running a small business and their former landlord, Charles Ashley, whom they accuse of sabotaging their operations. Ashley denies everything, claiming he merely enforced rental rules. But the case takes a darker turn when one sister reveals that Ashley physically assaulted her, leaving a severe injury near her eye. Judy examines the evidence and dismisses Ashley's self-defense claims. Physical violence, she emphasizes, is never acceptable. Ashley is held liable not only for medical damages but also for potential business losses, his aggressive behavior condemned in full. A brief gambling-related dispute follows, involving disagreements over sports bets placed on the Eagles and Cowboys. Judge Judy interrogates the litigant about taxation rules on winnings over $5,000, highlighting how informal betting agreements often collapse under legal scrutiny due to missing documentation and contradicting stories. The episode intensifies with a chaotic domestic violence confrontation involving a woman who had been arrested and a man countersuing her. The woman arrives at the man's location allegedly calm, but Judy instantly recognizes her agitation. The altercation escalates into physical violence. The woman shows cuts on her knuckles, claiming they came from defensive actions, but Judy dismantles this lie with clinical precision. Defensive wounds appear on palms or forearms, not knuckles. Knuckle cuts come from punching someone. Judy identifies her as the clear aggressor. When the woman's volatile behavior continues even in the courtroom, Judy dismisses her case entirely and rules in favor of the man. The damage extends beyond violence. Property destruction occurs, including a shattered bedroom window where a girl named Brittany was sleeping. The woman offers absurd excuses, like claiming her bracelet may have caused a hairline crack, but Judy immediately sees through such dishonesty and orders her to pay $1,100 for repairs. Another case involves a woman suing her seamstress for failing to complete a birthday dress. The seamstress, juggling multiple jobs, revealed the dress was only 95% done the day before the event, a clear breach of contract. Judy orders her to reimburse $145 and uses the moment to give a philosophical lecture. As people age, priorities shift, and one must choose what truly deserves emotional investment. The plaintiff admits she may reassess her expectations in the future. The emotional weight grows heavier in the case of Yanis, who sued his ex-partner for exploiting his credit card. Their brief 6 to 7 month relationship ended after she used his card to fund a trip to visit another lover. Her excuses crumble quickly under Judy's interrogation. She is ordered to repay $2,827. Judy bluntly notes that the amount compensates Yanis for his financial loss and for being a fool, emphasizing the dangers of granting financial access in immature relationships. The episode then addresses a rising urban concern: electric scooter accidents. One plaintiff reports significant injuries caused by a reckless scooter rider. The defendant insists the pedestrian shared some blame, but Judy holds firm operators of faster, heavier vehicles bear greater responsibility. She criticizes the lack of clear regulations covering scooters and e-boards but insists that legal accountability still applies. The scooter rider is ordered to compensate the victim, and Judy warns him that he is fortunate the injuries were not catastrophic. The episode also includes snippets of smaller cases involving unpaid rent, withheld deposits, TV rental fees, and disputes over shared property, all handled with Judy's consistent insistence on documentation, fairness, and clarity. She reminds landlords they cannot keep deposits for ordinary cleaning and reminds tenants that contracts must be honored unless clear evidence shows otherwise. Looking ahead, the episode invites speculation about the litigants' futures. Gerald McPherson will likely emerge stronger and wiser, more protective of his finances as he focuses on raising his daughter. Natasha Hall, whose behavior suggests a pattern of opportunism, may continue facing financial conflicts if she does not change her ways. The aggressive woman in the domestic violence case seems trapped in a destructive emotional cycle unless she seeks real psychological intervention. Yanis, humiliated and financially wounded, will almost certainly guard his trust more fiercely. The seamstress must improve her professionalism to preserve her credibility, while the scooter rider may finally understand the gravity of his responsibilities on the road. As the episode concludes, one powerful truth resonates: character is revealed most clearly when money, emotion, and confrontation collide. The cases are more than entertainment, they are cautionary tales about responsibility, emotional control, financial transparency, and the high cost of dishonesty. Judge Judy shows us again and again that a responsibility, however small, inevitably demands a price. So what do you think? Is Natasha Hall's financial manipulation more condemnable than the violent aggression of the arrested woman, or vice versa? And do you believe Judge Judy's warnings about life priorities truly influence the litigants? Share your analysis below, and don't forget to follow Judge Judy Movie Analysis 2025 for more deep dive explorations into life-changing courtroom battles. Thank you for watching.